It's time to react. What's going on YouTube? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brad Steele channel. Steele Reactions Yataka is where it's happening. Thank you guys for joining me on the Bradical bandwagon today for another reaction video. And today I'm going to be checking out Bo Burnham, All Eyes on Me. I know I've checked out All Eyes on Me. I've watched the whole special, but this is All Eyes on Me transposed to Bo Burnham's original voice. Those of you that have heard All Eyes on Me, you know it has the voice changer thing on it, makes his voice sound deeper than it is. This is apparently transposed to his original voice, and a lot of people have told me I need to check this out. So that's what I'm going to be checking out today. It's All Eyes on Me transposed to Bo Burnham's original voice. Thank you guys for getting me over 107,000 subs. The silver play button is right there. I appreciate you guys' support. If you want to continue to support me, if you enjoy my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I wish you would do that. That would mean so much. Also, my covers and original music, some of that will be available at the end of the video. Here's a snippet of one now. Singing Nickelback, karaoke, and laughing until we were sore. Some of the best memories I've ever made were on days when I was bored. If you want to check out the full thing, like I said, there'll be a link to it at the end of the video that you can check out, and I would always appreciate that. For right now, All Eyes on Me by Bo Burnham, transposed to his original voice. Without further ado, hitting play right now.
Get your hands up, get on out of your seats. All eyes on me, all eyes on me.
Wow.
Get your hands up, get on out of your seats. All eyes on me, all eyes on me.
That's very interesting because it literally, with the version that he does on the special with the voice changer on it, absolutely, you feel that. You feel the whole song. You're right there with him. You feel what he's feeling. You can feel the intensity and the urgency and the sadness and all of that. But there's something about hearing it as if it were just him sitting at the piano singing it in his normal voice. I think that just puts another layer to it. That is, wow. Let's keep going.
Are you feeling nervous? Are you having fun? It's almost over, it's just begun. Don't overthink this, look in my eye. Don't be scared, don't be shy. Come on in, the water's fine. We're going to go where everybody knows, everybody knows, everybody knows.
This still gives me chills.
We're going to go where everybody knows, everybody knows. Get your hands up, get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Go on, get your hands up, get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Yeah.
It makes you wonder, I mean, with the voice changer, and we saw that in the Kanye rant from his older special, Can't Handle This, when he kind of added the voice changer there too, where it would kind of go deep. It was auto-tuned, then it would go back to where it was kind of high-pitched, but it was never like his actual voice for most of the song. And it's almost like he when he shows that vulnerability and that honesty, it's almost like a layer of protection that he puts on this voice changer to where it's not actually him, to where you don't actually hear Bo Burnham in his natural voice singing. He puts on a disguise, so that there's some protection and it's not so vulnerable. I mean, I don't know the exact reason why, but that could be one reason why he adds that voice changer. But like I said, to hear this in his natural voice, wow. Let's keep going.
Hands down, pray for me. Hands down now, pray for me. Get your hands up, get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me.
This will be...
Want to hear a funny story?
Wow, that hits...
So, 5 years ago, I quit performing live comedy because I was beginning to have severe panic attacks while on stage, which is not a great place to have them.
This in particular, hearing him tell this story and this monologue as if it were just naturally him and not the voice changer, that this hits even stronger, because even though this is just an image put with the song, you can just picture him there. You know, there's so many points through the Inside special where he's talking to the camera and you could tell he is in a rough state at some of those points. And in All Eyes on Me, when he tells this, you know, the lights are dim, it's very blue and everything, and he's got the voice changer again. But this, you can picture the honesty and the vulnerability. When he had to record this, audio for the first time, you can just feel the sadness and the hopelessness.
So I quit, and I didn't perform for 5 years. I spent that time trying to improve myself mentally. And you know what? I did. I got better. I got so much better, in fact, that in January of 2020, I thought, you know what? I should start performing again. I've been hiding from the world, and I need to re-enter.
I didn't mention this the first time I listened to All Eyes on Me, or when I listened to it on the whole special, but I love the long pauses that he takes as he's talking. You know, in January of 2020, I thought every couple of words, there's a long pause. And I think there's a lot there, you know, as a listener, there's a lot of reasons maybe why. Maybe it's, you know, you just want to get people on the edge of their seat to hear where the story's going. You're so invested. But also, I think maybe it's symbolic of the fact that this is not easy for him to talk about. Maybe he's trying to hold back, because we saw an Inside when he broke down in front of the camera. Maybe he's taking these pauses because he's got that lump in his throat as he talks about this dark time, that he's got to take pauses. Maybe that's what it's supposed to mean. I'd love to hear your interpretation of this, because I know you guys will give it to me in the comments. But I love those long pauses. It's so dramatic with that chord progression playing behind it, and you're wanting to know, you know, what happened to this guy. And he's telling you the story of how he stopped performing and didn't want to perform anymore. And then when he finally did, the pandemic happened, and then he can't. And you're just like, oh, with every pause, you're like, oh, God bless this guy. Let's keep going.
And then,
long pause.
the funniest thing happened. Are you feeling nervous? Are you having fun?
Oh.
It's almost over. It's just begun.
I don't know if I'm ready for this next part.
Look in my eye. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Come on in. The water's fine. You say the ocean's rising like I give a You say the whole world's ending. Honey, it already did. You're not gonna slow it. Heaven knows you tried.
Here we go now.
Got it good, now get inside. We're going to go where everybody knows everybody.
A few things I want to say. That part gives me chills every time. No matter how many times I listen to it, I get chills at that part. It's interesting because he didn't have an audience. He had to use a laugh track and stuff like that. And so many times throughout his monologue, the laughter that he puts in there. And it makes me think of all of the times in his shows that, you know, sometimes you see when he is in front of a live audience, sometimes people laugh at stuff that's not supposed to be funny. Like, there's nothing about his monologue there that is supposed to be funny. And some of you guys have talked about other reactors that have checked this out, and like they're laughing during that monologue in the middle. And I'm like, what is funny about that? Like, that the guy was having panic attacks and had to go off, stop performing, and then when he wanted to come back, he couldn't because there's a global pandemic. Like, what's funny about that? Maybe it's people are just so uncomfortable, but I like the fact that he added in the laugh track, even though he didn't have to. He could have left it quiet and it could have just sat there, but I think it's telling that sometimes we just laugh at stuff that's not funny just because it's a comedian. We think it's supposed to be, but so often, especially with him, it's not funny. I love the lyrics through there. You think the whole world's ending, honey, it already did. That lyric right there gets me every single time. And I love when the harmonies come in, and one little thing he does vocally that I love is, everybody knows everybody. I love that subtle, like, because you could tell in the middle of this heartfelt song, he's kind of feeling himself. Like, he's just like feeling this music. We know that music is like his happy place. Everybody, I love that little thing and the harmonies that go with it. Oh my gosh, this song is such a masterpiece. Let's keep it going.
We're going to go where everybody knows, everybody knows. Don't get off your hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Hey, don't get your hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Yeah. Hands down, pray for me. Hands down now, pray for me. I said, get your hand up. Get up. Get up. I'm talking to you. Get the out.
Wow.
Get your hand up.
Wow. To hear that in his natural voice, that hits different too. When he just kind of snaps and loses it, and in the special we see he yells at the camera and he picks up the camera. Kind of almost saying, if you're not going to get up, I'm going to make you get up. When he picks up that camera and he's twisting it around, like the camera's kind of stationary the whole time, but then at that part he picks it up and he starts. But it's like, however you want to interpret it, as maybe sometimes those negative emotions, that depression, that anxiety, sometimes it's like, sometimes it just feels like it's picking you up and spinning you around, and maybe that's what it's telling right there. But either way, that part where he snaps and yells in his natural voice, you just feel that, because that's not what he does normally. His stuff is normally he talks in a very calm voice, and that's kind of how he is the whole time. But to hear him just snap like that in his regular voice, wow. Let's finish it.
Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Hey, get your hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Yeah, come on. Hands down, pray for me. Hands down, down. Pray for me. I said, get your hand up. Yeah. All eyes on me, all eyes on me.
Isn't that so interesting there when he's doing the lyrics there at the end, and it's almost like he hits that kind of like maniacal laughter kind of in the middle, or maybe it's helpless laughter, when he's like, get on out of your seat. When he kind of like laughs in the middle, and the first time I heard it, I was like, that feels so out of place right there. But like, there's a reason for everything he does in his songs, and I think that it's just kind of, again, that helpless, out of control feeling you have, where yes, you're desperate and everything's going wrong, but then you just almost have to laugh about it. It's all so crazy, you have to just kind of laugh. Or if you're looking at it from the perspective, as we talked about in the original reaction video I did for this, from the perspective of depression and anxiety, almost laughing as it drags you along. We talked about how he picked up the camera and spun it around. Almost like that anxiety and that stuff that's in your head is almost mocking you, and laughing at you as it pulls you around, and like he does with the camera. I don't know, there's so many different interpretations, but I loved hearing this in his original, you know, transposed to his natural voice. It just puts the song in a whole new light, especially after you've heard it a bunch of times. That's the original key, and then transposed up a whole step to A flat. So, man, I just my favorite song from the special. I know it's so many of yours too, and incredible to hear it in that way. Thank you guys for joining me on the Bradical bandwagon. Thank you to everybody who's helped me out to get to where I am on YouTube today. You guys are the best. Covers and original music should be on your screen right now. Wish you would check that out. Thank you guys. Take it in, soak it up. Bye, everybody.
We could use a little boredom. We could use a little boredom today, today, today.